Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Lemis. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Governor Palacios joins leaders of U.S. territories in airing out challenges and issues far from the mainland. Also tonight, a local male is arrested on sexual abuse charges. We will take you into local court. And the former head of Imperial Pacific is now in charge of public works. In sports, a 12-year-old is looking forward to some heavy lifting. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, February 10, 2023. Governor Palacios is in the nation's capital this week, presenting the Commonwealth's challenges and request for Congress assistance. The U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources held a hearing with governors of the U.S. territories earlier today in Washington, D.C. Governor Arnold Palacios was joined by Guam Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, along with leaders of the U.S. Virgin Islands, America Samoa, and Puerto Rico. Palacios presented the state of the Commonwealth.
We in the Northern Marianas are grappling with crisis on multiple fronts. A government in fiscal disarray, an economy still struggling from the impacts of COVID, and several unprecedented typhoon disasters that preceded the pandemic, infrastructures and systems that are woefully unprepared for the climate crisis, and a shrinking population as citizens leave our islands for greener pastures. I entered an office that had been literally stripped bare, but far more troubling, I found the government's finances in complete disarray. We are still assessing the extent of the government's fiscal woes, but we are already taking necessary but painful actions, including cost containment measures.
The governor emphasized that the number of people living in the NMI has dropped, and the need for economic viability is crucial. Palacios asked Congress to support a bill authored by Congressman Gregorio Kilili Sablan called the Population Stabilization Bill that would encourage thousands of long-term foreign workers to remain in the NMI with permanent status.
Equally important, I appeal to you to consider amending the U.S. Workforce Act of 2018, which governs the administration of the CW program. With a diminishing number of CW permits every year, and with the program's end just around the corner in 2029, I ask for your support in the repeal of the section on the touchback provision.
Hawaii Senator Mazie Hirano states she will be introducing a bill called the Compact Impact Fairness Act, which would allow COFA residents to avail of all federal public benefits. Governor Palacios says he is in support of the bill.
I certainly support that, the idea of making COFAS, FSM and Micronesian brothers and sisters eligible for Medicaid. That certainly would help defray the cost of health services in the Commonwealth, Guam, and Hawaii, for example. But I think we should also take a look at other social services and other services provided, and perhaps even include them in your bill or maybe subsequent bills that Congress may consider. Because obviously, I totally agree, and it is a fact that, you know, us, Guam and the CNMI and Hawaii are recipients of most of the migrations out of Micronesia. And with our government has basically bear the cost of a lot of these social services and healthcare needs that we provide. So I fully understand and I fully support your legislation and your effort.
Chairman of the committee, Joe Manchin.
I just want to personally thank all of you, and I want you to know that we're with you. We're very much concerned. You're extremely as important as any state is as far as to all of our success and the freedoms that we love and the democracy that we enjoy. And it's something that we're going to protect and do everything we have with the force of the United States of America and working together, and we'll make sure that you have opportunities, every opportunity that possibly could be available to you all. We'll make sure that we're going to do that. As far as you're having the same concerns we're having about, we need more workers too. We're at 10 million jobs we can't fill in America.
Governor Palacios also attended the senior plenary session of the Interagency Group on Insular Affairs on Wednesday. The event was organized by the U.S. Department of Interior. Congressman Gregorio Kalili Sablan presented at the session as well. In court, bail is set at $50,000 for a local male accused of a sexual assault of a minor. 33-year-old Joaquin Jacob Babauta is being charged with sexual abuse of a minor in the second degree, assault and battery, and disturbing the peace. Babauta appeared before Judge Joseph Camacho this morning. Court documents say the alleged incident involves 2 minor children. Babauta is remanded back to the Department of Corrections and is scheduled to return to court on February 17 for a preliminary hearing. Also appearing in court is 35-year-old Johnny John Basienti. Basienti is being charged with burglary, vandalism, and 3 counts of assault and battery. Bail is set at $30,000. According to court documents, homeowners called police when they discovered someone was inside their home, particularly in the restroom with the doors locked. A male, later identified as Basienti, exited the restroom and attempted to flee, but the homeowners tried to stop him. During the struggle, Basienti punched one individual, pulled the hair of another, and pushed the third individual. The homeowners were able to capture his escape on camera, which they later presented to police. Police identified Basienti from previous cases and arrived at his residence the next day for questioning. Court documents says Basienti confessed to police about the incident and an arrest warrant was executed. Basienti is scheduled to return to court on February 17 at 10 a.m. Police are seeking the public's assistance in a case of armed robbery. According to the Department of Public Safety, on Wednesday, February 4, 2023, officers met with a local elderly woman who said an unknown male walked into her home and robbed her. She says the suspect used a screwdriver to demand for her purse, cell phone, and a black bag which contained ID cards and cash worth about $800. The suspect told the victim not to move throughout the course of the incident before fleeing on foot south along Lupak Way. The suspect is described as a dark complexion, about 5'6" in height with short hair. The suspect is believed to have worn an orange long-sleeve shirt and black short pants and slippers. If you have any information regarding this case, you can call 911 or the Crime Stoppers hotline at 670-234-7272. Two fishermen from Rota are rescued after their vessel sank, but the search continues for the third fisherman. The United States Coast Guard rescued 2 of the 3 mariners from the water about halfway between Guam and Rota on Thursday, February 9. The 2 rescued individuals states their vessel sank and they were brought to a debris field found by the Guam Air National Guard. They say the third fisherman was alive and with them, but became separated from them during the night. The fishermen departed Guam on Tuesday, February 8, and were heading to Rota on a 42-foot vessel named Senior Dung. As of press time, officials from DPS Rota says the search is still active for the third mariner. All right, coming up, a training session at the Oleai Track and Field. Stay tuned.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month, plus a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
Hapaday CNMI, I'm Officer Igito. Driving under the influence of marijuana is against the law. Driving high can impair your judgment, motor coordination, the ability to concentrate, and slow your reaction time. Therefore, it can impair your driving skills. We are not out here to get you, we're out here to protect you. Don't drive high, CNMI. Drive high, get a DUI.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the CNMI Department of Public Safety.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They're an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The new Chief of Public Works says no more delays. All projects on the wait list are being pushed out.
That we have to spearhead this, no more delays.
Ray Yumo is the newly appointed secretary for the CNMI Department of Public Works. Yumo assumed his new position on January 30, and since then, the work on pending projects has begun.
We have to hit the ground running, and we have to push out all these projects.
$56 million in federal funding for road upgrades has been allocated to various projects to come in the CNMI. Yumo says the bidding process will be transparent and no favors will be given.
If there are 2 or 3 simultaneous RFPs out and one contractor can only handle 1 or 2, then so be it. I'm not going to sit on a third one waiting for those other 2 to be completed so that that same contractor can bid on the third one later on down the road. It's not going to happen that way. I'm not saying that it has happened in the past, but I want to see the capacity of our construction industry here. How many simultaneous projects can commence?
Sitting on some of these projects can cause some conflict from federal partners.
It's very hard for me and the administration to lobby, for example, Congressman Kilili's office to get additional federal funds for infrastructure when they're just going to tell us, well, you're still sitting on X amount in millions and you haven't spent it yet, right? So it's very hard. We have to start moving.
One upcoming project is Route 33, which will commence after Governor Palacios returns to the NMI.
One very exciting one is Route 33, which is basically Beach Road Phase 2. It starts from Chalampiao and it ends here in just a little north of AK Toyota. And that's going to kick off the governor's off-island at this moment. But once he returns, we're going to have a very wonderful ceremony to kick things off.
DPW also has several projects in the works, such as the Industrial Drive Project, Sugar King Park, and the Northern Marianas College. Yumo served in the CNMI legislature for 5 terms and has some experience in the private sector as well. He says his knowledge of how things operate is what his vision for the department is based on.
I see a lot of improvements here. It's all about efficiency. I want to make sure that this office moves efficiently for our customers, which is the general public at large.
One idea he has in mind is to provide customers a convenient way of obtaining information.
We don't have a website dedicated to this department so that anyone who wants to obtain a permit for any activities that is covered under this department, they can't. There's nowhere for them to get that information or that document, short of physically driving here. I want them to go online, be able to download a form, fillable, for example, and then just print it out and bring it in. And that way we can get them get their projects moving. It's all about moving these projects, because whether it's a private resident or a commercial customer, we want them to spur economic activity.
Yumo awaits for his Senate confirmation hearing before his official appointment to the cabinet. The NMA Talent Identification Camp is underway. What does that mean? Stay tuned. The Northern Marianas Athletics hosted their first talent identification camp on Saturday at the Oleai Track and Field. This will be a 4-session training camp happening every Saturday for the month of February. Saturday's event was the mid-long distance race. Tomorrow, February 11, will be sprints and hurdles, and then discus, javelin, hammers, and shot put throws in the next coming days. Their last event will include the long, high, and triple jumps. Dr. Ron Snyder tells us more about this Talent ID camp.
So this is the first of our 4 training camps in Talent ID. So we're focusing on distance today. Today is the 800, the 1500, the 3000, the 5000, and the 10,000 K runners. So we're checking out how fast they can run, what their pace is, what their form is, and trying to identify an appropriate event for them. So this is all the athletics events. So we have hurdles coming up. We have the sprints, 100, 200, 400. We have the throwing events, so the javelin, the hammer throw, the shot put, and the discus. And we have the jumps. So we have the high jump, the long jump, the triple jump also.
Part of the training is to prepare athletes for the upcoming events in the region.
So they're training today they're getting ready today for the Oceania Cup in June, followed by the Micronesian Games, which will be all the Micronesian federations, followed by the Pacific Games in next fall, and that would be all the Pacific Islands, Australia, and New Zealand.
Here are some words from one of the athletes who participated in the training, Pastor Matthew Furin.
The reason why I joined this event is, number 1, I want to challenge myself. But number 2, there's always somebody you can learn from to better yourself as well. It's a challenge, especially when you're going to be in the Masters division. I'll be 52 soon, and so this is just something to prove to myself that I can still do it.
Furen is also an active member of Run Saipan, and he is currently the activity director of the said club.
We got plans for the Oceania Cup this coming June, as well as the other races coming this year as well. I'm also the activities director for Run Saipan, and so we have a lot of events planned from month to month for this next year as well, to keep everybody on their feet, keep them healthy, keep moving.
Registration is still open for the remaining 3 sessions. For more information or questions, you can email Robin Sapong at rsapong@gmail.com.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Freshness. It's the overall reason beer drinkers choose draft beer. And that's the reason Godfather's is making a serious commitment to offering their customers a full lineup of draft beer on tap. Choose from Lagunitas IPA, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Lost Coast Downtown Brown Ale, Fat Tire, Blue Moon, and more. All competitively priced. Godfather's Bar now serving the island's widest selection of ice cold beer right from the tap. Godfather's Bar, where everybody's family.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Tonight, we meet another young and aspiring weightlifter.
Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. A quote from Henry David Thoreau.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
On the Young Star segment tonight, we meet one more weightlifter who currently attends middle school at Seventh Day Adventist.
My name is Kian. I'm 12 and I'm 12 years old.
Kian only started weightlifting 2 months ago and was inspired by his sisters who weightlift, one of whom competed for the CNMI in the 2022 Pacific Mini Games.
So one of my sisters, she's like really good at the weightlifting. And so when I looked back like in the video of the weightlifting competition, I thought it was really interesting. So I decided to join her and my other sister.
Kian competed in his first weightlifting competition alongside his teammates at the CNMI weightlifting qualifier in January, where he was one of the youngest competitors. Kian hopes to keep on competing in more serious weightlifting competitions in the future. What do you think those experiences will bring for you?
Like a good experience that will improve my weightlifting.
Here are some wise words of advice Kian offers to the other young athletes out there.
To not be afraid to start doing something at a young age. Like now, I'm only 12. I started doing weightlifting and I think it's fun.
Young Stars Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
What's the move? What's the move?
And for your KSPN weather report, tonight mostly cloudy with scattered showers, east-northeast wind 15 to 21 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 28 miles per hour. High 87, low 78. Humidity at 74%. Tomorrow, partly sunny with isolated showers, east wind 16 to 18 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. Rip current statement is dangerous rip currents on the east-facing reefs of the Marianas until Sunday night. Combined seas between 7 to 10 feet will continue through tonight before falling 1 to 2 feet on Saturday. East wind 20 to 25 knots, wind waves 4 to 5 feet, east swell 6 to 8 feet. Smallcraft advisory remains in effect until tomorrow. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid boating in the hazardous conditions. Sunrise will be at 6:43 a.m., high tide at 10:27 p.m., low tide 5:07 p.m., and the sunset 6:18 p.m. And there you have it. That is your Friday edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. As always, we thank you so much for watching the Channel 2 News. We hope you have a great night, a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday with more.